Welcome everyone to the main phase episode 2. Today we're going to go over some of the decks we may have missed last episode, which aren't exactly tier 1, but still pretty strong. Rogue decks with a surprise factor and can still steal some games. Um, One of the decks that I really want to talk about that we shit on pretty hard last time is Sylvan. Someone finally made a good list. Props to Jeff Jones. They've been topping some regionals, some worlds qualifiers. Really pretty strong deck that took away some of the inconsistencies. It doesn't run any trap. It runs 3 Effect Veiler and 3 Rose Archer, which when you have a face-up plan on the field, discard it, negate a trap. It's like a wiretap from your hand. It's pretty strong.
Very good.
Um,
Like
and
if
just people
anyone was
are
gonna,
generally learning how to play the deck better, which helps too.
that's also true. You're right.
Um,
Jeff made a really good list to kind of just build from and kind of use to play with because I don't know, like all of his card choices were just perfect. No traps means he's not losing to any of the negation that people are playing, like wiretap and trap stall.
yeah, people just dead draw into their back row hitting cards too.
And then if you have a Rose Archer, it's almost kind of like, well, I win now.
Yeah, very strong. Um, so I don't know what else to say about the deck, but
I mean, the deck can still brick. It's not, you know, exempt from bricking, but Jeff's deck is just the most consistent that I've seen so far, for sure.
yeah, it probably makes like only like 10 to 15% of your hands like absolutely terrible. Because there's many ways to like set up cards and excavate them.
Yes,
From what I've seen, like almost always like have what you want. Because now people are playing the field, and which they previously didn't. Field is absolutely broken. Very,
Chariot Sprout
very
was
dumb.
also a nice little inclusion.
Yeah, Cherub Sprout's
I
pretty
mean,
strong.
I'm kind of on the fence with it. It's really only good to like you can use it to get a Princess Sprout, tribute it, and then stack another Sprout, or you can bring out a Spore with it. So I mean, it's not multifaceted, but both the options that you have are pretty good, I would say.
Yeah,
So it's an
tribute.
interesting choice.
The Princess Sprout being one of your main uh, overlay targets by
Yeah, that would probably
summoning
be the
her.
main reason you like the main card you summon off the most of the time. But it can get Spore, which I don't think should be overlooked
Yeah,
because level eights and stuff.
yeah. Spore easily makes itself level 8 or level 7 too, or well level 8, not level 7.
Well, yeah, you can use it as a tuner, like to make a level 8 synchro, or you can use it as an overlay, like banish it for,
Yeah.
or banish for it to make it a 7 or
Yep.
8.
Pretty good. Um, okay, I think that's all we have to say on that. It's just more consistent. People are learning to play it more. We're actually seeing the power of a consistent, strong deck list. The next deck that I want to talk about. Uh, Now, with the structure deck coming out, we'll go over the Light Sworn variants. Chaos Dragon, Chaos Sworn, Christia Sworn, Pure Sworn, Zombie Sworn, Boxer Sworn. There's just so many ways you can play the deck because so many decks love the graveyard, and who better to put cards in the graveyard besides the original graveyard masters, the White Sworns. Um, there's just a lot of ways to play it. They're all really personal preference. They play quite differently. Um, with the Chaos Dragons, with Dark Flare Dragon and Light Pulsar Dragon, making easier rank 6, and you can actually like run the Chaos Orcs in there. They recycle themselves. They're actually pretty big. Like no one really plays monsters that are like 2500 attack anymore, so you can actually run over a lot. People won't expect that unless you're playing against like Dragon Rollers. Uh, then you'll have a pretty hard matchup.
I
Uh,
think the best one that you didn't mention though, I mean we did talk about LS ruler, but I think that's going to be the big strategy that people are going to run primarily. I would say.
yeah, most likely. Um, but I don't see a budget version of that being that great. So this is mainly about like people who are just buying like 3 of the structure deck and putting in cards.
Yeah, That's fair.
Yeah, I don't see them playing Christia Sworn either, because that deck is actually pretty hard to play. Like you have to manipulate your graveyard perfectly, and it's kind of hard for Lightsworn.
Yeah, and you
Uh,
have to play like cards like
yeah,
Shire
you have to
and
play
stuff. Yeah.
Shire, but Christia is extremely strong in this format. You can solve a bunch of special summons, and she's
Yep.
fucking big, and she recycles herself.
Like
And
I don't see how Hat wins if you summon Christia. Like aside from having Fiendish Chain or Breakthrough Skill.
yeah, it's like if you don't bottomless it, uh, or trap trick strapple nightmare it when it tries to add, like an honest or whatever from the grave to hand.
And I guess you can ignition a set Moltriarch, but
Mm.
you know you're having problems
Yeah,
if you
but you
have to
can't
do
even
that
summon it.
anyway. Oh, right,
So
true. Never
yeah,
mind.
Christia is pretty good. Like
Yeah.
Dragon Roller doesn't really have an out to it either.
Oh, Dragon Ruler, I think, just scoops up,
Yeah.
honestly. What do they
So
do?
Christie is a strong choice. I would have played it. I just could not get a fucking list for it. Like I just didn't know what to run. Um,
Yeah.
but it was cool. Soul charging back like double Christia. I think that was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that was great.
It's like, all right, you're gonna get one off the field, but I'm going to have another one. So you blew your out, and now you need another one.
You just need Darkhold.
I like Pure Sworn. That's like kind of my preferred list. Just because I'm so comfortable playing with Pure Light Sworn. I use like, well, I guess it's kind of like a Chaos variant, but I only use like 7 dark monsters like Gores, Zephyrus, Gale, uh, Ally, Gen X, Birdman. There's just so many plays you can do. Like, I think I bounced a JD like 3 times like 3 times in one turn, just to like summon like Birdman and Zephyrus and like shit like that. And then I just had like exactly 8,000 damage and just won a game that way. So it's pretty funny. Like, there's a lot of stuff you can do with Zephyrus. I really like him in the deck.
Things like JD, they could like Fiendish Chain. You could bounce JD
Yeah,
back to
exactly. You just
Zephyros and stuff.
like make them blue cards for no reason, and they really don't think about it either. Like
Like it's
Zephyrus is
really
so overlooked.
the decks now like they're accustomed to being able to deal with one threat a turn. Like I have a Black Worm to stop this push. I have a Fiendish to stop this push, and
Yeah,
White Sworn kind of play like they're gonna make you blow the cards first so you can summon JD. It's how they've always typically played,
yeah,
and it's a very
exactly.
aggressive strategy, which isn't like any of the decks that we have currently, aside from like Gearja and Dolce. But even they take turns to set up and they can grind too. But White Sworn is just out to kill you immediately.
Yeah, there's no breaks on that deck. You have to play fast. You can't play scared. You can play smart, but with 3JD, there's like likely of seeing multiple of them. So you just try and get their blower cards on the first one, then you just drop the second and third, and say GG. Um, Especially with like beckoning lights, easily. Like there's so many times I've gotten like 3JD off a beckoning light, and the look on your opponent's face when that happens is just priceless. It's like, all right,
That's
that's 9,000
3 ages.
damage.
Yep. It will
Uh,
always be a priceless look.
yeah. Um. Okay. The next deck we can talk about is Fire Fist. Um. They kind of fallen off the meta with Wolf Bark at 1. That actually hurt them more than I'd like to say. That was
Yeah,
one of
it was.
their like main like generation cards. Like the free rank force was actually pretty big.
Yep.
Um, it, Now most people play the hand variant, which
Uh,
is probably their
yeah.
strongest.
It's
Just
still like it's not like a tier one deck by any means, but it's definitely playable with hands and trap tricks for sure. Or just trap tricks and Fire Fist I've seen, which I don't really understand. I think the hands are just a natural inclusion for that deck.
yeah,
Especially if you're trying to mimic the old +1 variants with like card and everything, like you would want to just play the trap tricks and the hands. I don't understand why you would just play trap tricks, but
hmm
I mean I think that the trap trick hand variant is pretty solid.
yeah. 3.5 Fire Fist, or even the 3.0 Fire Fist, just really isn't that great either. So you're pretty much
Now,
stuck playing the hand if you want to be viable.
yeah, if you want to even attempt to play Fire Fist, it has to be probably with trap tricks and hands. Like 3.5 just doesn't do enough anymore. Like the rooster play into Tiger or Horse Prince just isn't that great
Mhm.
at the moment.
Um, okay, next deck to talk about is one that is kind of getting some steam with their new card that's been out for like a set or two. Um, is Kawakimeru and their new card Diamond Core, which solves some of their problems. Which just adds a Kawakimeru card from your deck to your hand. You can banish it from your grave in your end phase, stop them from being destroyed by their own effects.
Yeah, now you don't just have to draw into Iron Core. You can search it or any monster you would
Yeah,
possibly need. So it was definitely the card that they needed to I wouldn't say be good, but be playable
yeah,
at
make
least.
them at least playable on a local level. We haven't really seen like a strong deck list.
There was one that topped a regional somewhere,
Yeah,
maybe a week or two ago, and it was playing Fire Fist. So, because I mean, Tenki can search out Urnite and the other guy Crusader, so it's pretty good.
yeah, that's the two main playable ones, and then you can keep Urnite on the field longer with more Beast Warriors. Um, yeah, Urnite's strong, free rank 4. If you have the Iron Core, he's 2K, he's pretty big. Not much
21
to
under Tenki.
yeah, 2100 tanky. Maximus is an extremely fucking weird card. I really don't like it. Because you have to remove an Iron Core, and then like he just minuses you constantly,
Yeah,
and
he's not. He's like the that boss monster that like the deck should never play. Like he was intended to be a good finisher, a way to equalize the field, but he's just not
yeah, it's
great.
like -2 to destroy one card on the field. Um, so never play Maximus. Not good. Bad. Bad dragon. I remember he was pretty hyped up when he came out, and everyone was like trying to get him, but he is pretty bad. And Guacamaro. Drago's still Drago. Um, with all the Lightsworn decks going to be played at your events uh, on the 27th, or probably the first 2 weeks, like after the deck drops. Um, yeah, play Drago if you can in like a Dragon Roller deck, because it
Yeah, at
really
least
doesn't hurt them.
sided if you can.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely Dragon Roller deck side the Drago, unless you're playing the Lightsworn variant.
it's not bad against Hat either.
Nope, no Morale Thax. Uh, it's yeah, pretty good. Okay, next deck we're going to talk about is Harpies. Uh, I like the deck a lot, but too expensive to play because you need Dragosex, and they're all like $4 to $5, like the Channeler and Dancer and shit. So I won't be playing that next weekend. Um, discard a card with Channeler. You can get a Dracosack. Probably the easiest Dracosack in the game. It's like summon one monster, discard Dracosack. Um, so that can also be like a rank 4. Channeler's just
They
your
can
big
have a
play.
really good turn one with
Yeah,
turn one Draco Sack and back row and party on deck too. So it's I mean it can open strong, but just some of the inherent problems I guess would be the fact that the they can their plays are easily stopped. Like if you catch a wiretap or a trap stone on Hysteric Party, it's like kind
yeah.
of over.
Even if you like MST the Hysteric Party like on activation,
Yeah,
that
anything that negates it or stops it is a problem.
yeah
The thing it does have going for it though is that the field can be pretty strong. It's a pretty back row heavy format at the moment, and no one's maining Space Typhoon. So, like, basically, the what would keep them in check before is you could just MST the hunting ground, and they can't get any pluses off
yeah,
of their
but
summons.
they just go insane. It doesn't have a number of times it can be used a turn, so you'd be like Harpy Channeler, discard or you'd normal Harpy Channeler, uh, pop a spell or trap card on the field, use Channeler effect, summon another Harpy Lady. It's another +1. Like it's just feels good if you're not playing against like an artifact deck. So
Yeah,
um,
I mean that could be one reason why no one wants to mess with it, but It's not like, yeah, that'd probably be the main reason I would say.
Yeah, but free pluses, hysteric sign, more pluses. That's just a +3 card, even though it's like any three Harpy cards. That's insane.
Yeah,
Hysteric
it
party.
gives the deck a lot of room to kind of just recur their, just get back resources
Yeah,
and try to
you
push
play
the
like the
next turn.
wing. That's one deck where I could consider maining like Wing Blast and Divine Wrath and things like that. Um, Hysteric Party, 5 monsters for one discard, pretty strong. But Dim already said that if it gets negated or just destroyed, then uh, that's one of its main problem. And that's pretty much all the decks we want to talk about this episode. Now we're going to talk about some regionals and other events, starting with ARG Milwaukee. Um, there's a pretty interesting top
It was a
16.
very small event.
Yeah, no one wanted to go there, so we have one Dragon Roller. I think it was Lightsworn Roller, or was it just Dragon Roller?
It was just dragons, pure mythics
Yeah.
with played by Pat Hogan.
Okay. Two Sylvan, Jeff Jones's list. They were almost like card for card alike. Like,
Yeah, he gave him the list, and then the guy actually ended up winning.
yeah. So Sylvan's one strong list. Seven Gearja, which is
What else is new?
interesting. No Mermail. Usually there's like one random Mermail player there. One hat deck, two spellbook, one chain burn, and one nurse burn. I think that's pretty funny. Uh,
Yeah,
that nurse burn is definitely viable. Someone will make a good list of that, and it'll like win an event, and they won't have a burn format. And then one Bujin deck.
I hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, nurse
You can
reticles are still
you
like
can
30
always
bucks.
like just pick a format to play burn, and it's not bad, but it's not good either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like even when Logia, like when the rabbit deck was like really good, like tier 1, people still played Chamber and Exodia and stuff. So I mean, I don't know. It's just you can always play it. It's just you don't have to account for it. It's just one of those things that could be there randomly, and it's unfortunate if you do have to play it and it can knock you out of the tournament. It's like one of those kamikaze players. So I mean, I feel bad for the people that played that Chamberlain deck and that Nurseburn deck and had a very legitimate chance of doing well with a good deck, and then they just kind of got
Yeah, they
beat
get
by.
wrecked by they spend hundreds on their deck, and then here comes the $90 warrior with fucking nurse burn. Uh,
Yeah,
the only reason people are actually playing like nurse burn now is this card. Try and guess. Oh my! It's like another gift card,
yeah, it's
but
definitely like another like one of their other like a new better option for them to just burn. You don't have to play paths anymore, and paths was really annoying because like it could kill you too, and it can mess with like hope for escape and all that stuff. So like the fact that you don't have to play it anymore is awesome.
yeah,
And this is a really good replacement for it. It will always do 3K. So
yeah.
pretty
It
sick.
just has like more OTK potential. Like
Yep.
you can just kill people if you see the nurse and like two gift cards in one of these or vice versa.
Yeah.
Uh,
Whatever
and like
ratio the
upstarts.
gift card. Yep.
It's just a killer. Um, it's an awesome card for Nurse Burn. Bujin, still Bujin. Nothing to say about them. As the last deck. Protect the castle. This guy was playing like 3 Decree though.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. They're slowly going from playing trap cards to just playing Decree. Probably because they realize like if they can shut down like pretty much a fourth of the opponent's deck, then nothing they can really do stop. Like they can't really stop Yamato from sitting on the field.
Yeah,
Like they have to
that was
attack her.
back row was like an anti Yamato,
Yeah,
and when you remove that equation, then it's like that's pretty easy. Um, Kaiser Coliseum Decree is probably like insanely hard to get over.
yeah. And then if you finally do get something, there's probably like a crane or a
Yeah,
hare to
crane,
release.
hare, turtle.
Like it just helps the lock so much, and it's probably better than just playing regular traps. I would say
Yeah, at
for
least
sure.
for that deck.
Yeah, for
I
that
like
deck.
Decree. I'm running Decree in my Lightsworn variant too.
Yeah,
I just think
that's
it's such a
something we
strong
could
card.
something we could actually get into. The reason why Pat decided to play Dragon Ruler that weekend is because Decree was such a strong option for it. So many decks are just playing a lot of track
like
cards in.
16, 17 back row.
It
Like
was just like a trend that kind of like escalated, and then Pat took advantage of it and main decked the decrees, and it obviously did very well for him.
yeah. Um
So I mean, we don't like who knows what we could see at ARG Philly. We could see more decks centered around decree. They'll obviously have really good advantage going into the event. We could see just the same decks are always going to be played. Like just because one person topped with decrees isn't going to make it so everyone just plays, zero trap cards. Like we're going to see a good amount of Sylvans, I expect, and probably Dragon Rulers with decree. But like Yurga, Hat, and Medolce will probably still do fairly well, even though no Medolce topped this event. But
I
again, it's
feel
like
like we're going
160.
to see so many White Swan decks just because it's the day of like day one of the tournament is the day the White Swan deck comes out, which is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, and it gives you so many cards. Like, we're all right. We'll go over the White Swan structure deck right now. I have it on screen here.
Okay.
Alexandrite Dragons just random as fuck there. They always have to throw a normal monster in a deck. Uh, but it gives you JDs, gives you the light ray guys, gives you Celestia. Like it gives you absolutely everything you would need. You can buy 3 of these and have pretty much a full-fledged light sworn structure deck. With 3 recharge, like 3 Lumina, 3 JD. It's just insane. Like
It literally gives you everything you need to just buy 3 decks and make a deck and enter into tournament with,
yeah, it's like the Machina deck all over again.
or agents,
Yeah,
something like
or
that.
fucking agents. It's just dumb. We're getting breakthrough skill reprinted, which is good. Um, that was due for a reprint.
Yeah, even with the battle pack reprint, they still ended up being like $10 to $12.
Yeah. Um, like, deck is the structure deck is like not that great in general, but buy 3 of them, make your own deck, get some like decrees, like or whatever you want to play. Uh, run like beckonings, and then you're all set to play Lightsworn.
It
Uh,
also gives you a Vylum Prism, which is kind of funny. So if you ever wanted to play Hunters in the near future, you don't have to spend time tracking down that card because it is a bit of a random card that people
yeah, so you
might
could
not
get
have.
like Michael, and then have like a 3600 beater.
Michael is a great card, and Michael and
Yeah.
Raiden are just so powerful. I think like now you don't have to play Card Trooper anymore. Raiden pretty much replaces him. No 4 cards. That's pretty insane, and he gets pretty beefy. He's a tuner. Just a really good card in general. Mike and then Michael, of course, is just wow.
Michael's pretty good. He
Yeah, that guy
just
is just
banish any
nuts.
card on the field once per turn. It's destroyed. Send all your lights ones back to the deck and 300 for each. Um,
Granted, it is going to be a 2 card investment, but it's so good. Like any of your
it pretty much
synchro plays before would be a 2 card investment anyway. This one
yeah
actually lets you gain value out of the summon. Like you're not limited to just summoning Black Rose or something like that now. Like you can just summon a good beater with a great effect. Like he's the precursor to your JD plays. Like he'll hit Lila, then him. It kind of just plays in waves. Like Lila bait out cards, Michael bait out cards, or kind of give you control of the game, and then JD comes down and
yeah.
kind of just finishes the job.
So
Do you want to talk about the spell card?
um, the sanctuary.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still bad.
You don't think it's that good? I'm not a fan of it either, but a friend of mine was saying it has some potential. You can see how it could be good, but
I
I don't
think
think
if
I
you
would.
play that, you would have to play the field
But
just to build up shrine counters.
this one, yeah, yeah. I mean, you don't necessarily have to play the field. Like this is good because, I mean, I guess you can keep your monsters while you summon JD, so like it's easier to OTK them. But I mean, it's just kind of like a niche. Like it doesn't. It's gimmicky almost. Like you
Yeah,
don't really
it
need
makes
to play
it makes Celestia more playable. Just like you can save him from being destroyed by battle or whatever, and then be like tribute him or Celestia next turn, which is one of the main problems with Celestia. It's like if you didn't have the Necro or like an honest savior guy, you weren't going to summon her.
Well, now it has to be card effects.
Does it have to be card effects?
It's not
Oh,
by battle.
okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. The Necro.
So it's even shittier.
Yeah.
Like the only thing you could really use it for is the reincarnation effect, but I mean, you could just play reincarnation.
Yeah,
Which you
exactly.
could
It's
do.
reincarnation, like continuous reincarnation, and
Yeah.
it can't get like JD or like BLS back, so
Yep.
kind of sucks in that aspect. But that's pretty much it. Um, let's go over what decks we're playing at ARG Philadelphia. That's coming up on the 27th. I'm most likely going with Pure Light Sworn or some like Black Wings. Going with some old school deck. Um, I don't know. There's just so much I can play still. I'm going to keep testing. I'll mostly play like a Pure Light Sworn list and try and get some wins with that. It's mostly just going for fun at this point. What are you going to be playing?
Um, well, I have a Giga deck I can use. I haven't really. I mostly play with Madolche. Like if I'm testing on Blue Network, I'm really comfortable with that deck. I don't have access to any of the cards. My plan was originally to just rent it from somebody, because I'm not trying to spend all this like a huge amount of money that I honestly don't have to just buy in the Dolce deck. But if I could rent one, then I would definitely play that. But it's looking like Gear right now because I have access to the deck and it's obviously the best deck, so it's not a bad option. It's not like I'm uncomfortable with the deck either. Like I can play it fairly well.
Yeah, if you get a free Gidry deck, you might as well play it.
Exactly, right. Like, I'm not going to complain that I can't play Madolche. I'd rather have it. Like, if I had the option, like, if there was a free Madolche deck or a free Geardia deck, I'd play the Madolche deck, but I'm not going to complain with Geardia. That's for sure.
Okay.
I'm looking
Now,
to name the hands.
yeah.
Even though, I don't like doing this, just Furman's, like, list was pretty solid. I changed, like, one or two cards, and I'm just going to roll with that, like, with the hands main deck and, like, the triple fiendish and everything. It's, like, really good. Maybe even throw in a third space in the side deck because I think he was only playing two. I'm not trying to get crapped on by Royal Decree. That's
Yeah.
fucking fun.
No, or like fucking like bad reaction to Samuchi. It's like, well, I don't have my MSTs. I guess you're just going to flip, try and guess, and
Yeah, like I do not want to lose to that deck at all. Like if I see that, I'm gonna be pretty mad. That's for sure.
I could definitely see it being played. I just flip the
Like
table.
game one, I'm almost expecting to lose to it, but you never know because I have to pay for 7 tools. Might have to pay for a soul charge. Like if I turn one soul
Oh
charge,
yeah,
which is a pretty common play, even though it's only like for 1,000, usually that's still 1,000 for them.
yeah.
That's helping
Nurse
them
Burn
pay.
loves
So
soul charge players. Like
yeah.
it's like, alright, you just paid 4,000. There you go. Take
Thank
6.
you for making my thank you for making my job a lot easier. Like I was planning to kill you in like 3 turns, but now I can do it right now.
Yeah. It's like, damn, I only opened 2 gift cards and a nurse, but you just paid 4K, so enjoy. Um, we're going to go on to the last segment, single card discussion. And we'll start with and the Ben played on, which is pretty gimmicky card.
It's
Um,
interesting. It's very interesting
yeah,
for sure.
it is. It's basically like Gear Hate, and it basically like anything hate. Like,
Yeah. Like it definitely hurts Gearja the most, I would say.
yeah, it hurts XYZs too.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause you just can't get uh 2
Even the
monsters
Dolce
on the
even
field.
the Dolce to an extent.
Yeah, kind of. Um, I don't know like how that would work with Angeli and Hookkick. Would you be able to
Well,
just?
it wouldn't be able to stop the main play, but if they have a Tiara on the field or if they want to go for a Levier, and like if they need, because there are going to be situations where they have to summon Levier to get the combo off.
Yeah.
So if you can stop them from doing that, then it's okay. But it's probably better just primarily against Gear
Hmm.
because they can't summon Accelerator, they can't make Gear Gant. Um, it's just it's neat. Like if you have a field set up already and then you flip it, it almost sort of acts like oppression, but I don't know. It's
It's weird.
gimmicky for sure, but like I could see it being
Like
useful
if they
in
like Gear
another
Jid
format.
normal summon something and have to like summon the accelerator, they just can't summon the accelerator,
Yeah, and that's
and
pretty
then
much the play for next turn. You just stymie them.
it just slows decks down.
Mhm.
Next card we're going to talk about is Skullmeister, who shouldn't be $17. I just don't think it's that great, but some people are putting it in their sides. Um, it's basically like a shittier debunk.
Yeah, really, it is. I mean, I guess it's better in a sense because it can't get negated, but I mean, it's not as I would say it's not as powerful as debunk
Oh.
because it doesn't stop some of the things that debunk can stop either. Like it doesn't stop hand traps and things like that.
Yeah, oh, I can see where it's powerful though. It's like against the hands and shit like that. Um,
It's not even against the hands. Like if you attack, you can't activate it. Like it's damage step. So
that's true.
I'm not sure why it's as expensive as it is. I mean, people are just looking for anything, I guess. Maybe Moltriarch, I guess. Any of the artifacts it would be
Yeah,
good against, I suppose. That's probably one of the reasons.
maybe, but I don't.
I
I don't
guess
think Hat's
Sylvan,
being
maybe
played that much
Sylvan's
anymore.
too. Like I guess I don't know.
Yeah,
Like
Sylvan's too. I'd
just the
rather just
Princess
play like
Sprout and stuff. That's
like
like
the
the main
Soul
play you
Drain.
want to
Like the
stop.
Soul Drain will wreck the Sylvans. Like
It's a
they
weird.
don't
It's
have
a
any outs for that if you don't have like the Rose Archer. But, like if I flip
soldier.
that in like your standby phase, like turn two, what do you do if you're not
Yeah, the
playing?
main thing is like just using Princess Sprout like Abuser. If you have Soul Charge, like that's easy. Like that's probably your best thing. But your bread and butter without Soul Charge or Lone Fire is probably Princess Sprout. So, like, what do you do?
Yeah, you don't do. You just lose at that point.
Hmm.
Um. Okay, we can talk about the wiretap slash trap stun debate. If your deck doesn't have room for both, what do you
Slash seven
play?
tools.
Yeah, slash. No. I mean, seven tools is basically the same as wiretap though. Um.
People like to max both just pretty much to be able to stop their like as well as being able to force through their plays, having another card to stop their wiretap or their
Yeah.
stun. It's kind
Um.
of like Solemn Wars before.
It's very. We're in a weird place with our trap negation or trap prevention, I should say. Uh. In those three cards, wiretap, trap stun, and seven tools. Most people are like, it's very debatable what to play. Uh,
You're gonna primarily see wiretap in any deck, like pretty much every deck
yeah,
that's relevant, like Yurga, Madolche, and Hat. When you get into the other cards, Trapstone is probably really good paired with Wiretap in Madolche because Wiretap kind of lets you grind, and then Trapstone is for when you're going for game. So they're better in two different scenarios. You can even like even if you're grinding and you have to use a Trapstone, it's not a big deal to force a play through. But like generally, Wiretap and Trapstone together are good in Madolche. There was I played 2 and 2, and then I saw a deck that was very similar to mine, top the Madison regional a week or two ago, and it was playing 3 Trapstone and I think two Trapstone at least and 3 Wiretaps. So he was going in, and then 7 tools, pretty much Hat and Gear Gear. You want to like one for one off with their traps and kind of force through your plays, stick a Gear Gear. So that's why like you will see them paired together. Trapstone doesn't really. It's pretty much just a -1 at that point, like unless you're chaining it to like removal. So like Gear Gear doesn't like it can OTK you, but it doesn't do that like all the time. Like unless the only way that'll happen is if your opponent has opened like pretty poorly, I would say. And then Gear Gear can just take advantage of that, which is sad. That trap card is so good. Gear Gear is the nuts,
yeah, Gear is
and that's
probably the
probably another.
dumbest card ever.
That's like a big reason why the trap negation is so popular because not only does it stop like every trap card obviously, but you can stop Gear, which is like pretty devastating to Gear players. Like they don't get a free Gear anymore, so
um, okay, we can move on to Divine Wrath and Phoenix Wing Wind Blast. Now, um, pretty good cards that people just seem to like throw in their decks randomly, and
yeah, like when you're kind of like fleshing out the trap lineup and you're trying to add like another card, like if you've already have breakthrough skills, horns, the staples, a nightmare,
like Deep
and you're
Prison
kind of
and
just like
shit.
deep prison stuff like that. And you're kind of just like you need more protection. Like you'll look to wing blast and stuff, but it doesn't. Not every deck can play them, and you're better off probably just playing like a third fiendish or something like that, or a third breakthrough or whatever over it. But I mean, some decks can use it to a decent extent. Like Dragon Rulers can definitely utilize Wind Blast very well. Gets rulers in the graveyard, discards dead blue eyes, kind of just controls the field, spin a back row so you can go off. Like they're very big on being able to make wave plays, because they summon into back row and then they kind of just have answers for next turn. Varial puts them over the top, lets you just combo again. So Big Blast is very good in that deck, just being able to deal with either a problem monster or spin a back row so you can kill them. Divine Wrath, it's an interesting card. I don't see a lot of people playing it. I guess maybe the discard is too hefty. They don't want to get wiretapped or something.
Yeah.
But like if you can roll Divine Wrath, it becomes a very good card.
Yeah, effect negation is like so strong because like eight eight out of like 10 decks are just like they make their plays through monster effects.
Yeah,
And that's how they like flood.
every deck yeah makes plays through monster effects. So Divine Wrath is a good
It's a
card.
good
But
stopper. Like
yeah, like I was saying, how you can like slow roll it to have like the most value out of it, to where you kind of just activate it last. Like you don't just play it at the first instance you can. You kind of just wait until like you have to deal with a specific out. Like when I played in Medolce, it's very strong game one. I can wait for like hands aren't really a problem for Medolce because Tiramisu bounces them. But if I'm in like the grind game and I need to attack over it and I have Divine Wrath, then that's really good. I can stop hand traps. People don't really main them because they're generally pretty bad game one against most decks. But if you're playing against something like Sylvan, Divine Wrath becomes very good. They don't expect it. They kind of just, okay, you're probably maining like D Prison and Blackhorn, and I'm just going to play around those. And then you flip a Divine Wrath, and you're like, well, what do I do now? It's also pretty good against Exciton because they can't chain to it. Like, you could chain like, well, I mean, Nightmare is different. Nightmare is the same instance. You don't have to discard a card, but I mean, Divine Wrath is different. Like with Bottomless and Compulsory and stuff, they can chain Exciton's effect, but with like Nightmare and Divine Wrath, they can't, and Fiendish Chain. So it's pretty interesting. Like Divine Wrath stops a lot of cards that other cards can't. Like they can stop the hands, which it can stop the hands, which is I think merit enough to even include it as a one of if you wanted to. It's definitely not like the best card, but if you can kind of just gain the most value out of it and like roll it, like I was saying, it becomes pretty devastating.
yeah, just wait till
Like
they use their resources.
not
Then
many cards that stop the hands, like just straight up stop them. You know what I mean? Like you have to make a Dweller or have like a Soul Drain or something, but Divine Wrath is one of those cards for sure, and
yeah,
that's
I
pretty good, I'd
I
say.
hate this card so much. The hand still because like if an opponent just sets like a face down and then like three back row, it's like, well, it's definitely a hand, and then it like ends up not being a hand at all.
Yeah, like that's why the Gearja deck with the hand was a good idea because we were talking about it in the last segment where like you see the top 16 deck list, so someone's that's going to be playing Furman is like, ooh, is that set in armor? Is it a hand? Like I don't know what I want to do, and you see um you see his first match actually against the Fire Fist player, he goes straight in and goes bare and hits I think either fire or ice, and he kind of just loses out because of that. So
Yeah. Okay, now we can talk about next single card, Dark Hole. Um, would you main it, side it? Uh,
um, it's it's not.
it's weird.
I don't want to say it's a bad main deck card. It's
It's
just
very situational.
yeah, because there's so many decks that set up a field to where Dark Hole is irrelevant. Or if you Dark Hole a deck, like they can just easily come back from it. Like Medolce don't care.
Yeah, rulers
Uh,
can come back for it, or you're just killing like Dragastack tokens and not
yeah,
affecting a Felgrand.
Rulers mitigated it the best, I would say. Like Stardust, Draco Sack, Felgrand, Medolce recur all their monsters. The best time to use it against Irga is probably turn one on a set armor, so it becomes a fucking
Like
a
one for
meal
one.
plan or something. Yeah, so I mean, it's not the best main deck card by any means, but I would definitely side it. What matchups?
I'd say
You know,
Lightsworn get pretty wrecked by Dark Hole. If
yeah, like any of the rogue decks, definitely Dark Hole is good
anything
against. Like,
that commits to boards without like where they have to commit to boards or they lose games, like
yup,
that's when Dark
like
Hole.
where they have to put their whole hand on the field, they don't have any way to recur their
Yeah.
options. Like that's the best way to play Dark Hole. Um, Mermail isn't that bad, I guess.
No.
I mean, you'll probably if they don't have the loop with like, or not the loop, the board with like engineer and stuff, then it's okay. Um,
It's
Trying to
pretty
think
pretty good
of
against
decks.
hat decks, because they
Yeah,
usually get like fields.
yeah, because they want to like stabilize with control. Like they don't have any way to recur their options, but they have ways to keep grinding. Like they have more ways in their
Yeah,
hand to kind of
it's a
just
good way
continue.
to get around fire hands too.
Yeah, good way to stop the hands. Like if you don't have any sets, you can clear an ice hand. You can kill Pallades and stuff, and it's kind of pretty devastating. So it's not bad against Hat. You can side it in against them as well. It just doesn't seem like a great main deck card anymore. Like decks just come back from it too easily. It's the way the game's progressed. Unfortunately, I mean, I don't really agree with that at all. I kind of hate how the game's played right now. Like back in the day when you played Dark Hole and you held Dark Hole, it was
Yeah, you waited until they had like three monsters and then bang, but now you just can't
it's a,
anymore.
it's a
Cause
good swing in tempo. But now it's just like, oh, okay, it's actually just a minus like 5 if I do it against Dolce, I suppose.
yeah, um,
I could dark hole a field of gear dance, but you have a gear to gear set probably, and you already searched 3 cards off of them, so it's like, oh, okay, whatever.
all right. And the last card we want to talk about on the show is XYZ Universe. Normal trap card. Target two face XYZs on the field. Send both of them to the grave. Special summon one XYZ monster from your deck. Except a number whose monster rank is equal to 1 or less than the combined original ranks of those two monsters. So, very good against Gearja if you're playing like Sylvan or Dragon Rollers. It's like a free Felgrand or free Dragosack.
Yep, or Mermail, really, even,
Yeah,
but mostly Sylvan and Dragon Lore. And this is the very interesting thing. I noticed this. Furman and Wiggly were siding 3 copies of this, and then also siding a Draco Sack and a Felgrand for the mirror match. And I think this is probably the best equalizer for the mirror you could probably ask for.
yeah,
If you're not, most of it's just a war of attrition, kind of just grinding out like through Blackboard and stuff, stopping each other's summons. But this is probably like one of the blower cards, like an equalizer for the mirror match, because you take a Geargat and like another rank 4 or whatever, or like something like an Owl card or whatever like that, and then you can summon a Draco or a Felgrin, and they can't really. I mean, they can respond to it, but Blackhorn is an
yeah.
option.
You can't Blackhorn
Um,
that. You would have to like warning it or like bottomless whatever comes out.
yep,
Um,
that's really all you can do.
and you
And then,
can't bottomless the Felgrand, so it's like,
yep. So the options are just limited there too. Can't even compulse the Felgrin, so you pretty much have to warning the Xyz universe, or that's it.
yeah,
Because
wiretap
it's
it.
it's interesting. Yeah, or wiretap it, like any
But
way to stop the trap.
it
But
just makes your opponent minus like so much.
yep, they just lose 2 guys. They can't and it's really good because Blackhorn is played in as a 3 of in that deck, and it's good in the mirror match, and it's good against just generally everything else. But when you flip Xyz Universe and they're likely to have one down as one of their trap cards, it's like, what do I do? Like, I'm not ready for that. So, and then Felgrand, like both of those cards are pretty good against Geargia. Like Draco Sack's gonna get you, some removal, provide you with a body. Felgrand is just, strong as hell. That's gonna win you the game probably,
Yeah,
summoning a
that's
Felgrand.
definitely a game winner right there. As soon as you
Yeah.
take two of their monsters and just plus all of it, and get like a free body and possibly some card destruction with Dragosack, it's like,
Yep.
there's not much you can do at this point. You're not going to search with your armor. I'm just going to kill while it's face down with Dragosack. Um,
Yep.
and if this just goes through, then it's like I pretty much win.
It's very interesting. Like you have to side deck a Draco Sack and a Felgrand, but I mean, hey, whatever.
Yeah, I feel
Like,
like the side deck cards right now are just kind of there. Like, there's nothing like too definitive that just
you're get
kills deck from being there.
yeah, like there isn't. Like Nobleman is okay, but it's only good when they have armor and hands, and it's still just a 1-for-1. It's unfortunately it doesn't remove all their armors, or it would be like tier 0 broken for the side deck. But just every side deck card against Geargia is kind of just whatever. There isn't really anything that definitively stops them, like you said. And I think Exceed Universe is interesting because it's definitely a blower.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
definitely a good card, and like if you're playing a deck that can run it, obviously run it in the side.
yep. Like Dragon Rulers should be siding 2 to 3 of them easily.
Yeah, just let your opponent
So
set up a board and then be like, no, thank you. So there are a few decks that can get out two Exceeds monsters one turn, like Mermail especially. If you're playing
mhm.
against a Mermail deck and you flip this, they like Bahamut Shark you, and then you're like, okay, thank you for the free Dragazak.
Yep.
It's pretty funny, like what you can do with this card. Just like it's very unexpected too. Like if
Yeah,
someone
it's
flips
very
that on
it's
me, I'll be
under
like,
the
can I read
radar
that?
now for sure. It's very under the
Like
radar.
you
And
don't think about that card when you're trying to make plays.
nope.
But I guess
Now
now
I
you
guess
kind of have to.
yeah. It's good that it's not too broken because it's a trap card. So like trap stun, wire trap, 7 tools, etc.
Mm.
But like if you time it like well enough to where they use them already and you know that they don't have another one, it can just be it's devastating. Card is very good.
Hmm.
I expect to see it in like not everyone's side deck obviously, but if you're playing those aforementioned decks, then yeah, side that card in multiples. Like
Um,
if you're a Girka player and you're like, man, I don't know if I want to spend the money on a Draco Sack and a Felgrand just to use this card in a mirror match, I would do it because there really isn't anything else that equalizes the mirror match as well as that card. Like I'm sitting there thinking about it, I'm like, they had to come to the same conclusion because there really isn't anything else. Like you can just grind with the trap cards and win that way, or you can just blow them out of the water with this.
yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yep.
It's very late game card that will most likely just win you the game. I think it's very hard to come back if you if you lose two Exceeds, it's most likely that you used most of your hand on it to set up. Um,
Yep.
and then as soon as they take it and get a free fucking like rank 7, rank 8, you're going to have a bad time.
Like, of course, Gearga don't mind committing the Geargans to the field because they're usually 1 card or free. But when you lose them and you can't plus
Yeah,
off of them and you're stuck with like 2 to 3 cards and no other play, and you're staring down a Felgrand or a Draco Sack, it's like,
yeah.
don't
There's
know
not
what
much
to
you can
do.
do at that point.
Nope.
Um, I don't think there's much else to talk about here. We covered some tier 2 decks, went over the Sylvan, single card. We broke down the Lights 1 structure deck. Is there anything else we need to talk about?
I think that's it. We addressed a good amount in this episode as well.
Yeah, it's
We're gonna
definitely.
probably continue with kind of like the same like format for the segments. Like we'll talk about events. We'll talk about like under the radar decks because we already talked about like the meta decks. So and then if meta decks have any like changes or adapting, then we'll talk about that. And then single cards that are seeing some play, like we'll probably follow the same format for every episode.
Yeah, next week will most likely be the Banlist episode, because I'm sure we'll get like a leak by then.
Yeah, and like during banlist season, if there's like a leak or I don't. I want to kind of stray from talking about rumored lists,
Yeah,
but
like,
I mean, if we have nothing to talk about, I guess we could just make fun of like the dumb lists that are popping up.
yeah. I, that's always my favorite time. It's like, okay, Chaos Emperor Dragon 3. This is fake. I just want to like have like a truly like meta changing list. Like I want some nuts cards coming back, like Return from a Different Dimension, like shit like that.
No, no return, please. If you're gonna bring back return, ban the
Oh
dragon
yeah,
rules.
I'd be fine with the Dragon Rollers getting banned, honestly. So they just keep so many cards like banned just because they exist. They were kind of in the same situation as Stratus with like a Hero Lives had to be like banned or at 1 or whatever. Uh,
Yeah,
and Mally had to be like at like 2 or 1.
and then they finally gave us back 3 Mally and 3
Yeah,
Deval, and
yeah, that's when they
Stratus.
banned the
Yeah.
Stratus. So there could be
I
some good to the game because he's not there.
it makes me angry though because if you think about it, let's say Stratos was in this format, how well would D Hero variants actually do because of the power creep of the game? Just think
Yeah,
about
I
it.
don't
Like, do
think
you
so.
think they would be that good?
No.
Like they wouldn't be, and it's annoying. Like they would be a cool, fun like tier 2 deck to like play around with, but now we can't even do that because you had to ban Stratos. There's like no way to add malicious to your hand outside of fucking Gold Sarcophagus now.
Hmm.
Like what the hell is that? Come on, man. Free my nigga Stratos right now.
That's interesting point. The hero deck, uh, the structure deck with the heroes in it has Stratus in there.
Oh, it does. Yes,
So
it does. Could that be a sign of things to come,
yeah,
or are they just
Stratus
gonna mess with
may be
us?
unbanned. We'll have to see how that comes on July. When does the list come? July like 1st, right?
I think it is July 1st. Yeah.
It might be like later, like a week later, but we'll see.
Yep.
Um, I think that's all we're going to talk about today. Thanks for watching. Follow us on YouTube. Follow the Twitch. Like, comment. I'll link it in the chat. I have to put it on my profile as well. But anyway, I'll probably play some games after this. So thank you for watching, and look forward to the video if you missed anything. See yous.
See you later, guys.